Hello, I have a great little video for you today. So we're going to get right into it. Over identifying with anything limits you. And you don't want to let yourself get caught up in the binds of your own mind and what you identify yourself to be. Because as we grow in identity and become hooked to it, rather than an identity kind of being an extension of who we are, it turns into judgment, which can become hierarchical and judging ourselves against ourselves. And then in turn that reflects outwardly by judging other people without a kind of flexibility in understanding. As this begins to trap you in one way of being, if you overly identify with one aspect of who you are, one aspect that you think is acceptable, one aspect that you think brings you value, or maybe not, whatever it is, it can limit your inspiration, it limits downloads, it limits expansion, and it cuts you off from your higher, knowing, energetic self. And it can create separation and conflict, which is a part of it all. We can't avoid these things, but we can become more in a flow state. So, how can you move away from over-identifying? And I'm going to use myself as an example so that it can really hit home. I have been a personal trainer for quite a long time, and fitness has been a lot of my work. At the same time, I'm training to be a person-centered therapist, so to help deliver talk therapy and ways of helping people through anxiety and depression and all these diseases which are a product of so many other underlying underbellies of society. And yeah, I have also these other aspects of myself. And I notice that when I am trying to fit the mold, I become more trapped in who I am or who I should be or how I should act. So I wanted to share this offering with you on what to do when you have many aspects of self and many qualities to deliver, and how to begin to allow these to work together to create a sum bigger than the parts. So step one is beginning to integrate parts of yourself that you don't identify with. So repressed parts of the self that, they might not be very pretty, they might not be, they might be dark fantasies, dark taboo elements. They might not even be that, they could be anything, but beginning to integrate and not identify. So you're not letting something become your identity, okay? But it's these aspects and extensions of yourself that you can set free so that you can understand them and have them integrated into you more. So, for example, I don't like being an amateur at things, and that stage of in the beginning we're always jumping to be the expert or be immediately bypass all the trials and tribulations to look as a perfect package physically, mentally, and what we're doing and what we're delivering. So integrating these is really important, these repressed parts of ourselves. Secondly, take risks. Start showing the parts of yourself that you want to share with the world, but you're afraid of. You're afraid of sharing it through rejection, through, like I've said, being an amateur, being a novice, being a beginner. And let yourself enter into the epic journey of becoming, right? This is so important. This is so... And don't, where comparison comes from links to what I'm saying in the beginning. Like when you over-identify with something, you begin a comparison between, this is my identity. Is it worthy? Is it higher or lower than Jill down the road? And this, it stops you taking risks. It stops you diving in. But do it, and you can start small and go from there. Let yourself, feel rejection, feel these parts that we're trying to run away from all the time. And thirdly, practice flexibility in yourself. Starting small, such as exploring ideas and ways of doing things that's completely new and different. And you can start exploring just in your mind, thinking, okay, I usually do this thing. I'm usually rigid in this thing, but where can I expand? And even just thinking and exploring in your imagination what that could be will begin to open you up to new possibilities and show you and give you access to parts of yourself that know what to do, that have this wisdom to lead the way. Excuse me. And then oh my gosh, I never edit this video, so the cough is going in there. And then, teetering, putting your toe outside of your comfort zone, right? Where you think, oh, is it safe to be these parts of myself? And then if you want to increase potency, okay, if you want to be a warrior in who you're becoming, then you can really begin to allow flow by not being rigid in your expression and not being rigid in your judgments of yourself, and integrating them and allowing them. And a really simple example of this is, when we judge ourselves, and if it's repressed and we don't know, we're judging other people. And what are you so harshly judging other people about? And can you, first of all, let the judgment come in, not about taking it away, being like, I'm not a judgmental person, because we all have these judgments and ways of seeing people and putting them in a box. But how can you see that and then go, you know what, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm only seeing this through one lens and through one perspective. And increase the potency by sitting with the discomfort of, I'm judging someone before I even know or understand or have taken on that their life has had their experience. Because ultimately it means you're not letting you feel your own life experience, your own truths. So that was a little short video from me today. Thank you for watching, and I hope this has helped you release the tunnel or narrow way of what you could be identifying with, and let yourself be free and move freely. And I hope to share more on this platform of the things I'm up to do with movement and to do with being free in your body, in your sensuality, in your way of being. without being afraid of judgment, and in who you are, because we have light and we have love and we have the repression of parts of ourselves which cannot see the light whilst they're repressed, and that's when things become dark, and that's when we become controlling and try to manipulate and change the world around us, rather than sitting with who we really are, both the parts we like and the parts we don't, and not over identifying with what we like. I'm good at this, so I'm this, and I'm bad at this, so I'm not that. It's going, there are these things, there are these parts of me. Some are good at this and some are good at that, but I am not those things. They're extensions. Thank you.